Hi everybody, my name's Julie Mann. I'm a problem solver, a coach and an actor, and today I'm joined by Mariya Draganova, who's also...
Hello.
Hi Mariya, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good. It's great to talk to you, and I've got a few questions for you. So firstly, I'm just really interested, and I'm sure those people that are watching are interested to know a little bit about you. So yeah, go far away.
So I'm Mariya, as you said. I'm a coach as well, as you said. What probably people don't know about me, I'm from Bulgaria originally. I came in 2006 to go to university and I just stayed. So I've been living in London since then. I now have a little daughter who is 4, who is my absolute pride and joy. And I love traveling. It's one of my real passions. I love traveling. I love exploring new places, new cultures, and it's one of the things that really define me. Put it that way.
Fabulous. And whatever had you get into coaching?
So I've been working in the coaching industry, if you like, since 2013. I was on the admin side of things initially. I was working for the Coaching Academy, which is the world's largest coach training provider. And obviously being involved in that industry, it's impossible not to work on yourself. It's just, it's one of those things. So while I was working on myself, I decided that I'm going to do NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, really just for my own benefit, if you like, as a personal development tool. And I loved it. And it really, started the process for me. And then when I had a baby and I realized that I needed a bit more flexibility and balance in my work and life, I just decided to retrain and help other people do what I was doing, which is essentially growing personally and professionally. So it's something I've really enjoyed since 2016, basically.
Brilliant. So there might be some people, Mariya, who are listening thinking, actually, what is NLP? How would you describe it?
NLP, yeah. I mean, NLP is a wonderful programming tool, if you like. It's a personal development tool that helps people to really unlock understand themselves better, to basically reprogram themselves, essentially. So behaviors that they really don't like and are not serving them well, they can use NLP to actually change that. They can use NLP to communicate more effectively, not just with others, but also with themselves as well. It's like a user manual for your brain, essentially. NLP helps you to understand, why you do the things that you do, and of course to change any behaviors that, as I said, are not serving you well. So it's a brilliant tool, basically.
I love that definition. Now, I know that you actually specialize, your niche is people pleasing, so I'd really love to hear more about that. So how come that is your niche, and whatever had you decided to specialize in that?
Yeah, well, it's actually something that's very close to me. And initially, I when I became a coach, I like many coaches, I didn't really know what my niche would be. So I kind of experimented for a while, and then the common thing between all of the things that I was deciding between was that essentially I wanted to help people to take control and really to just take charge of their life, essentially, and just be happy. And one of the issues that I identified in myself when I was, on my own personal development journey, which continues to this day as well, was a pattern that it really makes you unhappy, essentially. People pleasing is something that genuinely has such a detrimental effect on every area of our life. Unless we deal with it, it could lead to depression, burnout, stress, lack of respect for yourself, lack of respect from other people. It's something that genuinely makes people angry and unhappy, and life is just going by, essentially. It's all about others and never about ourselves. So when I realized that this was actually what I've been through, and kind of come out the other end stronger and definitely more confident and all of that, I just thought, if I could help anybody else to just, you know, free themselves from that, and just be happier, then my job would be done. So it just, you know, it was a natural progression, if you like, when I was deciding on my niche.
And isn't that what everyone's looking for, to be happy?
Yes, exactly, exactly. And it is our responsibility, nobody else's, to make ourselves happy, essentially.
Yeah, it is. So in terms of tips, do you have any tips for someone who's listening thinking, yeah, I do that, I absolutely do that, I'm always saying yes when really I'd much rather say no, why do I do that? You know, have you got any tips for anyone watching that they could take away today and put into practice and start to see perhaps a shift in something for them?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, you know, having the awareness is definitely the first step, because, you know, unless we realize that we're actually doing it, there's no way we can change it. Initially, I didn't know this was a problem I had. I just thought I was being nice. Whereas, you know, it definitely isn't nice. It's beyond being nice. So, you know, for people, I would say probably just to recognize how this behavior actually shows up in their life, during their day, you know, maybe what triggers it. And really to just question themselves, you know, if they continue to do that, you know, what is it actually costing them on a daily basis? What would be the end result? And how long can they actually continue living like this? And as you say, it's learning to say no, and just, you know, set some healthy boundaries, because sometimes people are so used to our behavior and being like this that they just start taking advantage, unfortunately, whether it's consciously or not. You know, it's often what happens. So I would say learning to say no, learning to really just stand up for ourselves, to be attuned with our own feelings, our own needs, and really to just manifest ourselves, essentially, and to take care of our own needs rather than just everyone else's, and, you know, for us to always be on the back, on the end, basically.
At the bottom of the list.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so much, you know, resources online, like, you know, there's so much people can read and really, you know, start to practice on a daily basis, because essentially people pleasing is a habit, and this habit can definitely be broken and replaced with something that's a lot more healthy for us. And, you know, this, as I said, lots and lots of resources online. I'm posting content pretty much daily on my page. I've literally just started a Facebook group as well last week, which is brand new, nobody in it yet, apart from myself. But it's called Say No to Pleasing and Yes to Living, because I realized yeah, say no to pleasing and yes to living. Because I realized, especially on LinkedIn, there's so many people that, you know, like strive to see, you know, to be seen professional, to be seen, you know, confident, and all of that. And you know, they're really struggling with, sometimes, especially women, really struggling with people pleasing, but they feel ashamed to talk about it, to share their journey, to share their story. So I thought, why not create a group where people can just, you know, unload and share their challenges and their problems in a safe and supportive space, where they can really start to grow, really start to learn, and really start to, you know, to develop themselves and you know, take charge of their lives. So again, I hope that this will be really helpful for people, and that it will have a positive effect, put it that way.
So you mentioned women there. Is it that you specialise in working with women particularly, or do you work with men too?
With men as well, but mostly with women. And I think, you know, again, it's not just men, it's not just women struggling with that. There's plenty of men struggling with the same problem. It just so happens that there's actually more women that struggle with that for some reason. So predominantly women is who I'm working with, yeah.
Okay, and do you have a specific example, Mariya, of, you know, what people might be saying yes to rather than no? So that, because some people, if they don't have any awareness, may not even really kind of get their head around that. So
yeah,
the common things that, you know, people struggle with in that regard.
The common things is that, as I said earlier, it's, you know, people are always putting other people's needs before their own. So, for example, one of my clients, 4 years ago, maybe now, one of my very first clients, she when she came to me, she wanted to work on her self love. because she realized that she sacrificed herself so much to make other people happy that it got to the point where she's actually neglecting herself, really neglecting herself. So essentially, if you're not doing anything for yourself, not even cooking a meal, for example, for yourself, because nobody's joining you, then these are just small things that, that essentially show that it's almost like you're saying to yourself, I'm not worthy enough to, to cook for myself, for example. Or if you have plans and somebody calls you and says, oh, can you do this for me? Or, asks you essentially to do something, or, even to go somewhere with them, you are happy to immediately change your plans completely to accommodate this other person. Which, if you do it once, maybe okay, fair enough. But if this is a pattern that, that you do on an ongoing basis, and if this is how you live your life, constantly caring for other people and leaving yourself behind, then, it just leads to resentment and disappointment and, as I said, unhappiness, essentially. You feel disconnected from yourself, from other people. There's lots of anger that kind of compiles, if you like. And then it just comes one day where you just think, okay, I can't do this anymore. I just need to start looking for myself as well.
Fantastic. So if people want to know more about what you do, Mariya, you've mentioned a Facebook page.
Yes, so my Facebook page is MD, my initials, MD Prime Coaching. They can follow the page. As I said, I'm posting content pretty much daily, which hopefully will be helpful. I also have the opportunity to offer a free session for every new client. So again, if somebody wants to book, they can visit my website, mdprimecoaching.com, and book a session with me there. And yeah, just keep in touch.
Brilliant. So you're on Facebook, you're on LinkedIn. Are you on Instagram?
Not Instagram, LinkedIn and Facebook and my website. This is my social media covering at the moment.
Fabulous. Okay. And so finally, is there anything that you just really like to say to anyone who's watching?
I will just say, we've got one life. Let's really make it happy. Let's really make it count. It's, as I said earlier, it's our responsibility to create that happiness for ourselves and to really look after ourselves. Nobody else's job to do that for us. So let's just take charge and really, recognize that we're here to enjoy ourselves, to be happy, and to, to take space, essentially. If the key was... Yeah, I mean, if the key to happiness was pleasing others, we would all be happy by now. So clearly it's not the key.
Yeah, brilliant. Hey, Mariya, thank you so much for talking to us today. And I look forward to all your posts and things on LinkedIn and seeing more of you on Facebook. So thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good day.